PAC was, man, enjoying what every man wants to enjoy. Every man, every woman. And that's called success. You know, when you get it, you got to enjoy it to the fullest. You're not promised tomorrow. So let me drive this nice fancy car. Let me sport this nice jewelry. Let me do this. Let me, have about, a couple of G's in my pocket. PAC did what he could for people to say, hey, come on, man. Come with me, man. I'm going to go do this rap thing. I'm going to go do this music thing. You want to roll with me? Roll with me. You want to fall off? Fall off. They either ended up in jail or ended up dead. One or the other. But he did what he could for his homies, though.
He felt guilty about his success, which made him work even harder. And the guilt he felt was because he was reared in a household that taught him you are to be for the community, and even the material goods you have should be sacrificed for the larger political goals of black people in America, many of whom don't have what you have.
This is a big question, and no one's been able to answer it, and this is staggering. How can Reagan live in the White House, which has a lot of rooms, and there'd be homelessness? And he's talking about helping homelessness. This is what I mean about practicality. All right, if there's someone homeless in Washington, D.C., if there's homelessness, and he has the White House, which has 1,000 rooms, why can't he take some of them people off the street and put them in his White House? Because he doesn't want to get dirty. The White House would be a little tainted.
His various houses and places of residences from his first apartment were missions and flop houses for anybody that needed it or somebody he saw any glimmer of hope in,
PAC was an extraordinarily compassionate man. One of the interesting tensions between him, not simply the real thug nigga versus the politicized figure, it was also the world-beating superstar versus the kind of guy who was compassionate about everyday people.
We were in Washington. We were on an East Coast run from Atlanta to New York on his first record doing a promotional tour. We were in the car coming from a grammar school when we saw on the television a young girl had been mauled by a pit bull and had been rushed to the hospital. We were on our way to the airport on our way to New York. He made us turn the car around. We went to the hospital. He did not know these people. We met her parents in the waiting room, her mother, and he told them he just came to lend his support. But there was no press around that. No one said anything about it. No one paid any attention. But yeah, and I believe they still, until his death, he still had a relationship with that young girl and her family. There were charitable things that he was interested in, primarily education for kids, helping minority children, building self-confidence. He had a real affinity, especially to children who had parents who were drug addicted or who had parents that were incarcerated. He wanted to be able to set up something that was going to help those children, but he wanted to do it quietly. He didn't want to look like he was trying to sell records.
PAC was a magnet for the lost souls in the world, and you know what I mean? Lost souls always came to PAC in different walks of life, different forms and everything, but you know what I mean? He was always into helping the young niggas, the youth, the young niggas, younger than him, you know what I mean? Giving them a chance to do something. Y'all want to rap, get up off the street, come on.
There's too much money here. Nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. If they earned it, then I think that that's good, and I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I gotta give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or $1. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket, and that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? Can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing? And you can sleep? You can still go to the movies about, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians by the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are? Is to control you. If the churches took half the money that they was making and gave it back to the community, we'd be all right. If they take half the buildings that they use to praise God and gave it to motherfuckers who need God, we'd be all right. We'd be all right. Have you seen some of these goddamn churches lately? It's ones that take up the whole block in New York. It's homeless people out here. Why ain't God letting them stay here?